Hey guys, we're going back into the archive to do another week of what I was eating in February 2022. So I'm trying to place myself. I had just moved from Chicago to North Carolina a few months before that, and I don't think I had a job yet. I had one lined up. I don't know if I had started yet. Maybe I had. I can't remember. But in the absence of a full-time job, I still had some freelance work going on. I was cooking a lot and taking a lot of food photos with film, and I created a website for my food log. And I still have it. I could relaunch it, but it wasn't really going anywhere, and I took it down. All right, let's get into it. February 17th, 2022, Thursday, 9 a.m., counterculture coffee with half and half, made at home. 10:30 a.m., leftover green curry with rice, and a slice of scallion sesame and homemade chili crisp bing, made at home. 2 p.m., 2 chocolate chip cookies, made at home. 6 p.m., fried rice with tofu, chard stems, carrots, and scallions, made at home. 2 chocolate chip cookies. Wow. Okay, I ate 4 chocolate chip cookies that day. So, probably wasn't working. Let's see. Homemade chili crisp. I was making a lot of chili crisp in Chicago and giving it to people as gifts using the Serious Eats recipe that I think, what's her name? She used to work at Bon Appetit, in the height of Bon Appetit before their downfall, in the test kitchen. She knew how to temper chocolate really well. She owned a diner. Anyway, she used to work for Serious Eats, and I used her recipe. I can't think of her name. And I was doing a lot of bread. It's a great time to make bread when you don't have a job. You can be with it all day. And bing. It's that circular disc of a bread that they cut into slices like a pie. And it's tall. And Vanessa's Dumpling House, that chain in New York, they use it for sandwich bread. It's great. I wonder if I was working at the farm because I was cooking with chard stems, and the farm I worked at had a lot of rainbow chard. I'm not sure. I think maybe Brian had also started working at a farm at this point. Maybe he was bringing chard home. I don't know. Okay, so February 18th, 2022, it's a Friday, 9 a.m., counterculture coffee with half and half, made at home. 10:30 a.m., leftover fried rice. 2 p.m., slice of pepperoni pizza from Whole Foods. 7 p.m., Laurie Colwin's baked mustard chicken, mixed greens with roasted pepitas, feta and Olive Garden brand Italian dressing from Brian's mom's fridge, made at Brian's mom's house. 9 p.m., 2 leftover chocolate chip cookies. I remember this day. So Brian's parents were at the beach. It's cheaper to rent a beach house in the middle of February. And we were watching their dog for them. I don't remember. Yes, they rented a beach house for a month, took the dog with them. And the dog started acting like it was dying. So they brought the dog home because they thought he was going to die. But as soon as he got home, he started acting normal. He just hated the beach. So we ended up watching their dog for them, and they went back down to the beach. And Laurie Colwin's baked mustard chicken. That's a good recipe. I think I'm referencing it via New York Times cooking app. You take chicken pieces, I think mixed dark and white meat, I don't remember, but you coat them in mustard and breading. And it's super crispy. You don't need to fry it. It's a great way to get some crispy chicken in the oven without frying. And look, Olive Garden has the best Italian dressing around. And anytime I'm over at Brian's parents' house, that's what I'm eating. February 19th, 2022. It's a Saturday, 8 a.m. Counterculture coffee with half and half and scrambled eggs with scallions made by Brian. 10:30 a.m. Kind brand dark chocolate granola packet and a honey stick at beekeeping school. 1:30 p.m. Leftover chicken thigh, mashed potatoes, and a stack of club crackers. 7:30 p.m. Frozen Whole Foods pizza with pepperoni and Texas Pete hot sauce. Mixed greens with cured black olives, roasted pepitas, seeded levain croutons, and Olive Garden Italian dressing from Brian's mom's fridge made at Brian's mom's house. 2 glasses of Woodbridge Cabernet Sauvignon. Okay. Beekeeping school. Forgot about that. I definitely didn't have a job if that's what I was up to. Yeah, we had to quit the beekeeping club because everyone else was retired and about 85, and they wanted to meet in the middle of the day. They needed volunteers constantly. I mean, they're still calling me about volunteering, and you can't do that when you have a full-time job. Another thing about beekeeping, and I'm not the only person who's brought this up, I've heard other people say it, is beekeeping, I found, and some others have found, attracts a certain type of personality where it attracts a know-it-all. And oftentimes at the meetings, I would end up sitting next to a guy in the back row who would be muttering the entire time, disagreeing with whatever the presenter or the teacher was saying because he knew the right way. And that's how it was. It was just people who thought they knew the best way to do something, and I needed to get out of there. So I wonder what we were doing that day. Beekeeping school. And wow, we had a dinner, it looks like. Had some cheap wine from Brian's mom's house. Seeded levain croutons. So that's a bolted bread reference. If you haven't heard of bolted bread, they're constantly winning the best bread in North Carolina award. They mill their own grains. They use a lot of locally grown grains. They have a bagel place now called Benchwarmers in Raleigh that's amazing. They had a little bakery in Raleigh, but they just moved to a larger facility in Raleigh that is also a little bit more cafe-like, I guess. They have great pastries as well there. And then they have a donut place, which I actually interviewed to be the donut pastry chef there. And when I first moved here, probably around this time, actually. And yeah, I don't know. One of the owners was, I interviewed with a few people, I think 3 people, and I eventually talked to the owner, and I just felt like he didn't like me. And I was like, well, I'm not going to work for you then if it's like this already. I think he doubted, I told him that we were doing some farming, and he said, you're not going to have time to have a job. And starting a job with someone doubting you like that already, I don't know. I was like, this is too much. Also, the commute from Raleigh to my house is just too much. So I thought better than to get on that track. So anyway, February 20th, 2022, Sunday. Oh, well, I didn't even finish what I was talking about. Hold on. Seeded levain croutons. So anyway, they have a seeded levain. I think it's the best loaf of bread at Bolted Bread. They have fabulous bread. And I made croutons out of it because it got too stale. I will say I've gone back since, and I don't know if they've changed their bread or if my tastes have changed, but their breads are extremely dark and heavy. I wish they had, and maybe I'm just not buying the right bread, but it's almost like that Danish, what's that Danish bread that's a dark bread with seeds all over it. That's what it feels like. It's not a casual bread. Okay, February 20th, 2022, Sunday. 7 a.m., counterculture coffee with half and half made by Brian. 8:30 a.m., a fried egg over toasted La Farm sourdough made at home. 12 p.m., 2 chocolate chip cookies made at home. 2 p.m., handful of salsa verde flavored Tostitos. 6 p.m., pasta fagioli with Swiss chard and buttermilk and parsley meatballs made at home. A can of Sierra Nevada Pale Ale and a chocolate chip cookie. Wow. I'm still eating those chocolate chip cookies. I must have been working at the farm at this point because I'm eating a lot of Swiss chard. These buttermilk and parsley meatballs are interesting. I do like to add a dairy, like a yogurt, a sour dairy to meatballs. So buttermilk, I mean, that works. And yeah, counterculture coffee. I've been drinking counterculture coffee this whole time. So that's a local, they're everywhere. They're so big now, but they're headquartered in Durham, or at least they have a main roastery there. I think they started in Durham. So, are you buying local if they're everywhere? I don't know. I don't know how to think about that. Salsa verde flavored Tostitos. I wonder if those were good. I never had them again, so I don't even know if they still exist. I do like the hint of lime Tostitos, which I think they still exist. Okay, February 21st, 2022. It's a Monday. 10 a.m. Counterculture coffee with half and half. Poached paprika egg over roasted potatoes, kale, fried garlic, parsley, and leftover white pepper gravy made by Brian. 2 p.m. Chicken and Savoy cabbage salad with mixed greens on toasted La Farm sourdough made at home. A handful of salsa verde flavored Tostitos. 6 p.m. Leftover pasta fagioli with kale and a cabbage. Well, it says and a cabbage of Sierra Nevada Pale Ale, but clearly it's supposed to say and a can. Cabbage on the brain. Okay. Hold on a second. Yeah, Brian loves to make this paprika egg. But wait a minute, what is this? I had Savoy cabbage salad with mixed greens? Oh, no. Okay, it's chicken and Savoy cabbage salad. So it's chicken salad that has Savoy cabbage in it and then mixed greens on La Farm sourdough. So it's a chicken salad sandwich. Got it. Okay, sounds great. And Sierra Nevada Pale Ale, what was I doing? I don't know about IPAs or pale ales these days. February 22nd, 2022, it's a Tuesday. 8 a.m., counterculture coffee with half and half and a fried egg over olive oil toasted La Farm sourdough made at home. 11:30 a.m., pasta salad with broccoli, Savoy cabbage, feta, pickled red onions, cured black olives, and mustard over mixed greens made at home. 3:30 p.m., half of a kale and cheese-filled sesame khachapuri made at home. 6:30 p.m., chicken and mushroom congee made at home. A can of Carolina Brewery Kolsch. Wow. Okay. Yeah, I remember making these khachapuri for the first time. Bit of a trendy thing. I think a lot of people were a lot of restaurants were doing the khachapuri, at least in Chicago. And, that it's like a cheese boat. It's like a bread boat with cheese, and you crack an egg in it, and the egg cooks. I never made these again. I think it was okay. This pasta salad kind of reminds me of a recipe I heard on a recent episode of the Arthur Schwartz Food Maven, Food Mensch podcast, where, what is it? It's a elbow macaroni pasta salad, and the dressing is 3/4 cup mayonnaise, 1/4 cup of sour cream, and then what did he call it? Like a Washington seasoning packet. I don't know what that is, but I feel like you could use a ranch seasoning packet, and just a bunch of olives and red onion, a bell pepper. I'm thinking about making that. It's a good dish for summer. And made some congee. The congee recipe that I really like, I love the Uncle Mike's congee with just the lemon and the fried garlic. But I went to Denmark with Peter in 2019, and we went to that restaurant that just serves porridge. I think it's called Grot. I don't know how to pronounce it in Danish. Grot, but the O has a slash through it. And they just make different types of porridge. Congee, of which, including congee. So I had congee, and it was so garlicky and sesame oil heavy. And the base is garlic, ginger, and sesame oil. Peter actually ended up buying their cookbook and sending me the congee recipe because I loved it so much. It's a basic congee recipe, but I think it has like a 1/4 cup of sesame oil, and it is divine. I would highly recommend it. You can just make congee and add sesame oil, I'm sure. And a decent amount of soy sauce really helps. Okay. February 23rd, 2022. It's a Wednesday. 9 a.m. Counterculture coffee with half and half, and a fried egg over toasted La Farm sourdough made at home. 11:30 a.m. Leftover pasta salad over mixed greens made at home. 3 p.m. Small glass of oat milk with a touch of leftover coffee, half of a leftover khachapuri, and 2 chocolate chip cookies made at home. 8 p.m. Leftover congee with kale. Okay, I'm still eating chocolate chip cookies, or did I make more? Who knows? Small glass of oat milk with a touch of leftover coffee. I guess that's like a latte. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know what to say about this day. It's not very interesting, and I don't really remember it. Okay, February 24th, 2022. It's a Thursday. 9 a.m. Counterculture coffee with half and half and a fried egg over toasted La Farm sourdough made at home. 12 p.m. Feta and roasted pepitas over mixed greens with olive oil and balsamic made at home. Half of a leftover khachapuri. 4 p.m. 2 leftover chocolate chip cookies and a handful of salsa verde flavored Tostitos. 7 p.m. Leftover congee. Okay. Yawn, I guess. This was my sister's birthday. So, but, she was in Chicago, so she was doing her own thing. Yeah, still eating those chocolate chip cookies, I guess, and those salsa verde flavored Tostitos. Guess they weren't that good if they're still hanging around the house at this point. I do like that I actually am describing the salads that I'm eating instead of just saying salad. or iceberg salad, lettuce salad. I'm actually listing all of the things that are in the salad and the dressing. But, I'm eating well considering I don't have income at this point. But, I guess I'll leave it there. Yeah, that was February 2022. And I'll talk to you soon.